Greetings and hallucinations, ladies and lads. I am Chancellor of the Harmonious Frequencies of the Mighty Empire of Onion, and this is Minecraft. So today I'm going to be working on an iron farm, trying to get it built. First and foremost, I'm going to need a huge number of stone bricks, which means I'm going to need to mine up a bunch of cobble. I'm going to have to cook the cobble, so I'm going to be cooking up loads of rocks today. And yeah, eventually I'm going to have enough blocks to get started on building the iron farm. It's a pretty good design. It's supposed to be like 99.3% efficient or something like that. It's going to be a very simple iron farm, sort of slow production, but with the high efficiency, it should make up for it a little bit. So if I do a lot of AFK in the fish farm to gain levels and stuff, I should in turn over time acquire quite a bit of iron. But that's the plan for today, is to work on the iron farm. I'm gonna get stuck in and get some progress made, and then I'll bring you all back whenever I have something to show for it. Alright, hope you enjoy. Alright, so you probably guessed it. I went back over to where the village is, over in the swamp area, and went down into that big cave. I found this little lava pool, and I thought what a cool place to dig around. And so I decided to kind of use it as my stone quarry. Filled up my inventory so far with cobblestone. I fell into the lava one time, but thankfully, since I had already carved out some of the area around there, I was able to swim out, jump out, and douse myself with water so that I did not perish. And I did not lose any of my stuff in the lava, so that was super good. There's actually a whole lot of granite, diorite, and andesite down here, so I just ignored it for the most part. Of course, with this diamond pick, I dig a little bit fast sometimes, and yeah, I did run into a few pieces of that, but just leave it to despawn through a little bit into the lava. No big worry, no big loss. And yeah, so I filled up my inventory. I'm headed back to the base now, and gonna get these, at least 9 of these pieces cooking up right away, so I can get some stone bricks going. Alright, getting started here. Haven't made a lot of progress. This is just going to be the dropper tube that the iron golems are going to fall down to their deaths. There's going to be a lava blade at the bottom and all that good kind of stuff. You can see the the house down there where the other village is. The reason why I've gone up so high is because there's going to have to be a village contained inside this structure, and it has to be 65 blocks away from another village. And so the reason why I've had to go up this high is to get it that distance away from that village, for absolute certain. I'm sure I'm gone over by about 5 or 6 blocks or something like that, but yeah, I'd rather be too far away than too close and have to redo it all again, because I am going to have to eventually transport villagers up here, and so you can imagine that having to rebuild this entire structure after that, it would be an absolute nightmare. So doing it right the first time is pretty key here. It's definitely, yeah, I've mentioned before already, it's going to be time consuming, and yeah, maybe a little bit of a headache, but I'm going to try not to complain too much. You can see the tower over there looking fantastic. Yeah, I think one of the favorite things in Minecraft for lots of people to do is get up into high places and get an aerial view of their area. And I think it's pretty glorious, I gotta say. Yeah, this, the tutorial that I'm using to build this iron farm is by GruvaGuy. He's a pretty epic Minecrafter, lots of technical builds and stuff like that. Also, after watching the video that he posted talking about iron farms, I asked him a few questions in the comments. He was really quick to respond, really friendly, really informative. So I'd encourage you guys to check out the link in the description for both the tutorial on this mine farm and instructions on how iron farms work in general. And so he lines out a bunch of the technical restrictions that you have to keep in mind while making iron farms, especially if you want to do multi-village iron farms. This, like I said, is just going to be a really simple single village iron farm, so that I don't have to worry about all that extra stuff. But yeah, I'm going to get back to it and bring y'all back after a little while. Alright, here's the basic platform. It's not a lot to look at right now, just some stone bricks and a big square. This is a 20 by 24 area. And then I have to go around and build it up by 2 on the walls around the sides. And I just can't get over looking down at how awesome it is down there. I do have to point out one thing, is that the tutorial I'm watching is clearly a guy who's building in creative mode, and so he's able to like fly around and do this stuff. So it's a lot easier, a lot quicker for him. Also, he can turn it on to permanent day, and so he doesn't have to take a rest to stop and go sleep, in order to keep mobs from spawning and stuff. Also, down underneath this platform where I built the wooden platform, now there's no light that reaches that during the day, and so it's actually able to spawn mobs all the time. That's something that I have to be very aware of when I go down there to sleep. So far it hasn't been a problem, but I just got this platform done the one in-game day before, and so there's no telling what's going to be down there today when I head back to pass the night. I've just about got the walls done here. There we go. And this is going to be the first spawning level for the iron golems. If you don't know much about iron golems, how they work or anything like that, yeah, GruvaGuy definitely does a really good tutorial on that. The link will be in the description, as I've mentioned before. So definitely go and check that out if you have a chance. Yeah, he does a really excellent job explaining the way that things work, technically. To be honest, if you're interested, that's the whole point of Minecraft, in my mind, is to do really technical, really cool things. Sometimes a little bit cheaty, taking advantage of game code to get things done in the game. Like the AFK fish farm is technically a little bit cheaty, because in real life, if you put a fishing pole out in the water, you're not going to be able to reel in every fish that takes a bite. So, you know, it's not the way that it's supposed to work, but because the game code is what it is, we're able to take advantage of that and yeah, make it work for us. Similar situation with most of all the farms, including this village right here, where, by the way, guys are still dying back there. Oh. Huh. It looks like he's sentenced himself to perish back there. I'm not sure how or why he did that, but it's fine. Let's see if I can get a minecart in there. There we go. And that switch is a little bit hard to get to even when there's somebody in there. But those poor guys are still drowning in that water source back there. I might have to try to think of a way to fix that. We still only have 4 grown-up villagers back in this area. I would like to hop in there and see if I could do some trading with them. I don't know what that green-suited guy is, and if it turns out that he's Fletcher, that might come in handy because we have that chicken cooker back there. How's it going, buddy? Oh, you don't trade at all, or what's the deal here? Nope, he does not want to trade with me for whatever reason. So this shepherd here wants wool, which I could probably get for him, but it's 22 per. Here's another 21 and 21 coal. So these armorers are good to be in here. I'll never need to talk to them again. And this green-shirted guy, yeah, apparently doesn't do trades. So he's completely useless to me. Oh, the baby has fallen through. But yeah, that's good to know. If we ever do get a Fletcher, though, I'll be able to make good use of the massive numbers of feather stacks that I have building up in the chicken cooker over there. So that'll be super useful. But I'm going to get some more work done on the iron farm there, and I'll bring y'all back soon. Just because of me being a goofball. I'm supposed to be building these 3 tall half-slab rows across, and I'm supposed to have 4 of them. Yeah, so it's 3 wide with a space of 2, and then 3 wide, a space of 2, and there's supposed to be 4 rows across. I built it in the wrong direction, and so I was only going to have 3 rows and then a space of 3 on this side, which is not correct. I'm supposed to be building them this direction. So it would be a space of 2, a row of 3, a space of 2, a row of 3, and I would have 4 rows. I should have known when I was putting in this one, and it was going over the chute instead of on each side of it. Unfortunately, I didn't figure it out until after I had started on the 3rd row, so I've got to take all of these out and start over again. So yeah, good times, but I will get it done eventually. The good thing about it, though, is that if I don't take the rows completely out, it actually lines me up perfectly for the rows that I was supposed to be doing in the correct direction. And I can even place blocks just standing on the ground here. I don't need scaffolding or anything, so it actually wasn't as huge of a waste of time as I initially thought that it was. But it still extended the amount of time that I'm having to put into this to begin with. But it's fine. I'm getting closer all the time, and I will have it completed today for sure. Yep, so it's raining / snowing. And this is kind of a tedious sort of part of the build. I have to place these signs on each side of these half-slab platforms. That's because we're going to be running water all the way through the center of the platforms. I don't want it to run off of the platforms. So I have to put these signs here to keep the water blocked in. But yeah, this snow is exactly what I was talking about before, that some of the water sources might end up freezing. And so I might end up having a half slab over all of the water sources, which I think in the entirety of the build it is actually accomplished, but at the same time I don't really know that for sure. There might be 1 or 2 that I'll have to go back and make absolutely certain that they are covered, but that shouldn't be any problem. I ended up having to boat across the ocean a little ways to get enough wood to get the amount of signs that I have right now. I don't believe it's going to be enough signs to finish the whole thing, so I'm definitely going to have to end up going to get more wood eventually. I still have some wood left. But yeah. Gotta do this for both sides of all of these platforms, and then I think there's even more signage to be done once I get up to the next level, but so far so good. I had a couple of skeletons spawn down in this area, but nothing I couldn't handle. The part that scared me was one time I descended with a bucket of water down through the center there, and whenever I got to the platform, I heard the sizzle of a creeper. Thankfully the water washed him away, and so he wasn't able to explode while I was standing there, and I ended up going around the corner and shooting him in the face. So it worked out in my favor, but it was pretty scary. I went ahead and put a bunch of torches down around on the wooden platform at the bottom so that wasn't likely to happen to me. And then I also went ahead and just grabbed the bed, brought it up here and put it here so that I don't have to keep going all the way down in order to sleep. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it on going. Here we go, we've got our first frozen water source block. I'm pretty sure if I just break it that it will be fine. Yeah, it just turns back into a water source block, so that's perfectly fine. I think now that I have these half slabs over the top of them though, I think that that's going to prevent any further freezing for that row specifically. But yeah, got the water in the places, got the signs in there, so this is kind of what it looks like. Now I have to go 2 more layers of half slabs here. You might be thinking it looks a little bit strange, like how is a 3 tall entity going to be spawning in an area that's mostly half slabbed off? Is he going to be spawning in here with the signs and stuff? No. It turns out that iron golems can spawn inside half slabs and on top of them. The same with redstone blocks. So if I filled this entire area up with redstone blocks, except of course for the water, the areas where the water and the signs are, if I filled all of that up with redstone blocks, the iron golems would still be able to spawn inside there and get pushed out into the bottom area there. So yeah, it's super cool. Here we go. It's starting to freeze all over the place up here because it's so cold. I'll keep my eye on that row there and see if that freezes or not. But I feel like with these half slabs over the top of them, it should prevent that. That's at least what the guy who did the tutorial said about it. So fingers crossed, that's the way it is. Whew. Well, I've gotten basically all that there is to do done on the thing. I've still got to put water sources in the very bottom catch tray, and then of course I need to bring villagers up into this little holding area here. I need to see... Nope, can't quite jump over there. I need to put some torches in there as well to keep mobs from spawning. Can't quite reach that one either. So let's dirt pillar up here and take a look. So I think the last time y'all were here I was putting in the 2 half slabs rows across above the 3. I put the signs in, put the water in, and those started freezing as well. And so I ran this half slab almost like a scaffolding type of a roof around the top. I don't actually know if that's tall enough. Since the golems can spawn inside of them, it shouldn't matter. They should be able to spawn. Their heads will be touching those, but it should be okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's connected right there, which is a little bit of an annoyance to me, but nothing really serious, so that's just something I'm going to have to deal with. But yeah, I'm gonna run some dirt scaffold over here, get a few torches inside here. This is where I'm going to be holding the villagers at. Yep, one in there. Just skip like, I don't know, I'd like for it to be a little bit even. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Huh. There we go. That's not perfectly even, but it's pretty even. And I'll just break this down. It's getting dark, so I need to sleep again already, but we are almost done with this thing. At least the building part anyways. As far as getting the villagers up here, am I going to be able to do that this time? I'm not sure. It's definitely going to take a lot of time. I'm going to have to run tracks all the way up from that lowest village all the way up here, which is done. And then I have to run them further around and up here to this side. There is a reason that I put them here. If you watch his videos, GruvaGuy, for the life of me I can't ever remember his name. GruvaGuy is his name. If you watch his video about the spawners, for some reason the center of villages likes to be in the northwest side of where you are, and even more so since my base is towards the southeast of spawn. And so I had to have them on either the south or the east side, and the way that he built his iron farm, the doors are on the sides where the slabs go across towards them, if that makes sense. So yeah, the east and west side are taken up by doors, and so I had to put the villagers on the south side. If the south and north side had been with doors, I would have put villagers on the east side. So that's the reason why I've done it this way. I still need to put water down here. I suppose that it wouldn't hurt for me to go ahead and do that before I run the villagers up to the top, because I'm not going to have to be in this area anymore for any purpose. Ah, it was just one more use on that one. So it shouldn't hurt anything to go ahead and put the water down in this area. Now this part is kind of interesting. Got to come in by 2 and then do like this. Thankfully, yeah, if you skip a block and place water down, it creates a water source in between them. So that's super handy. I don't have to be running back and forth. Oh, come on now. For water all the time. Okay. And I want to come in by 2. He's got all of this reasoned out in his video so that you kind of understand the point of it. The reason why I don't put it in the corners is because if I do that, it'll turn all of these blocks into water source blocks, and that's not what we want. We want there to be a current that drives them towards the middle. And so yeah, I'm going to finish up the water here, and then I'll get started on the tracks to get the villagers up top. Okay. So I've made a dirt scaffold rail system to get the crazy villagers up here. I don't have very many mine carts, to be totally honest, so this is probably going to be a bit tedious. I'll have to get them up there maybe 3 at a time, and then yeah, come up, collect the mine carts, run all the way back down, and do it again. But that means that I only have to do it 3 full times with 1 time left over. I had to redirect the track because I came up right beside where I was going to drop them in and realized I couldn't get through the trap doors. So I had to go back down and around and up the other direction. Okay, so test subject number 1, we're going to see if he makes it. He's a cartographer. He has a pretty terrible paper trade. Not really interested in keeping him. Oh, oh man, he's going to head all the way back to the thing. I need to just torch this. Let's see if there's a torch here. There is. Okay. Probably bring that back in later. So of course he stopped back here instead of running around like they sometimes do. Okay, he is keeping on going. So far so good. Is he slowing down a bit? It's hard to tell. This is pretty terrifying once you get into the clouds up here because you lose sight of the track. But I know it keeps going, so. I feel like he's made it. There he is. Huh. Alright, so I've got to get him out of there, and then I've got to find a way to get back down. I might end up just jumping over and riding the water chute to get down. Oh, it hurts them every time I do that. There we go. It's a good way to do it. Alright. So now I can get 3 more in here, no problem. Come up and collect the carts. And then, yeah. Just have to do that 3 times till we have 10 villagers up there. And we'll be all set to see if the Golem Farm starts spawning. Thinking about it just now, I probably ought to put the chests, hoppers, and the lava sources in before I get all of the villagers up there, because if golems start spawning before I'm ready, it could be a bit of a mess. So I'm going to do that first, get the villagers up there, and then I'll bring y'all back when I'm ready to watch it work. Just thought that y'all might want to see something a little bit scary. Ho, 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 ho. Lava right above my head. Super scary to me, anyway. Yeah, I've done this in kind of a weird way, so I gotta see how I can remedy this. Got a couple of trap chests. I'll drop in like this. Okay. And now I've got to see if I can get the hoppers to just face straight down into the chests. Oops. Shift click always. There we go. So that should be it. The golems should fall in here. Their heads will still be in lava, so they will get burnt and die. And then all of their drops will go into these droppers and into these chests. I have an idea of what I want to do with this area. Yeah, I could still reach that from here. So I'm going to bring this out a ways. I'm going to have a villager running around inside here. Either a toolsmith, armor smith, somebody like that. Probably that guy that's in the hut down there. Turn this into like a shop. Like if it was an iron shop or something. Then I could come up and actually get the iron out of there, and I could do trades with the guy. So that's the idea for that. But I've still got to finish getting the villagers up at the top there. I just wanted to show you all the scary lava. You could do this with one lava source. I put two, one in each opposite corner, just because I think it'll look nicer. Sometime in the future, after I get a Silk Touch pick, I might even clear out one of these glass and go in there and finish it off with two more lava source blocks there. But that's just me. You could do it with one lava source just fine. Alright, so I got all 10 of the villagers that I need to get up there. There's only like 3 left in the holding pen, but I did discover we're up to 6 people in here instead of 4. So you can see there's 3 in the corner there, and then that guy, this guy, and this guy. The green shirts don't trade anything. I came across another one that I sent up there, and yeah, he died actually. The way I had it set up, there was a dirt block blocking them from going over the edge, but whenever one fell in, the next one would be sitting on top of their head, and so if I broke the lower mine cart to drop the top guy in, he wouldn't always drop straight down, and the guy in the green shirt went over just a little bit. His head got stuck in the dirt block and he suffocated, so that was a bit of a shame. I did find a Fletcher though, only 16 string for an emerald. I think that's a pretty good deal, and then 1 emerald for 10 arrows, which I'm not interested in at all, but I wanted to see if they will eventually trade feathers. I don't know absolutely for certain that they do, but if they do, that would be pretty awesome. Ta-da! Perfect timing. We got 4 iron in there, 4 iron in here, plus a poppy. So the iron golem farm is working like a charm. I have to say that I'm impressed. I'm half surprised, and I'm really glad that it worked out this way. Of course, this isn't its final form. I am going to go up there and pretty it up just a little bit because it looks kind of weird from far away. It looks epic to me because it's the first time I've ever built an iron farm, and so anything of this magnitude that actually functions is really exciting for me. I feel like when I was cleaning up the tracks, I probably left some pieces over on the side, but they might have even despawned by now. So yeah, it looks a little bit funny from the outside here. Not too bad though. You can't tell that those platforms are hanging on the inside from way back here. But the main thing that I want to change is to give it a bit more support. So have some kind of columns running up and down on the very outside corners, or some sort of support that extends out from the center column, maybe back and forth in a diagonal pattern, just to look like it's not suspended in air by a single glass and stone column in the middle, even though it looks pretty imposing the way that it is built right now. Let me get inside before these creepers spawn. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for this episode. I'm really glad that I was able to get so far as to get all the villagers up there. We actually saw that iron golem being harvested there at the end. And so yeah, super great success. Absolutely fantastic. I'm well pleased with that. Those are the trap doors, I think. I can almost see the villagers up there if I imagine hard enough and believe in myself. It was mostly librarians and clerics, cartographers that didn't have very good paper trades. I did send one farmer up there that had a lot of really good trades, like 16 carrots for an emerald and stuff like that. Unless it's a water elevator or something, I don't think I'm going to build a way to get up there to try to trade with any of them. I'm just going to see if I can get some new trades through the village breeder down there. And I need to modify I need to modify the reject section so that they actually get kicked out into that hole. Maybe instead of half slabs I need to put in like glass blocks or glowstone blocks or something like that, magma blocks or something, so that they do get kicked out in that single hole that'll drop them down to their doom. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe. Consider supporting if you would. And feel free to check out any of my other videos or playlists that you might be interested in. I thank you very much for any time that you spend on my channel. I hope blessings of wisdom and peace on all of you. Farewell.